I think we'll go straight back into where we left off. We were doing had an introduction, and we left off at um, good friends, precious friends, right here. Um, yeah, so let's do these two, and then we'll go into the traditional Harala Isis Atlan Anaf Igudnai Lagen. Um, that was much more traditional. This one here, Tolan La Isis, Tolan Quias Isis, Tolan La Isis, Tolan Quias Isis, Tolan La Isis, Tolan Quias Isis. Kungai Gujanga.
Tolang la isis, tolang quias isis.
Hulagan. Big Bear.
Talang la isis, talang quias isis.
Hulagan. This part here is very traditional. There's different versions of it, but this is how I was taught, and it's always stuck with me. Parala isis, atlan anas tigurinai lagan. Good people, I am happy to be here. This is used a lot in speeches or in an introduction. Harala isis, atlan anas tigurinai lagan. Harala isis, atlan anas tigurinai lagan. Kungai gujangan.
Hara la isis, atlan an ash di goodinai lagen.
Oh, good. He did that so good. Big Bear.
Hara la isis, atlan the good night lagen.
Gulag and how so after the very traditional good people, I'm happy to be here, then we go into what we call uh, more pleasantries. So are these are also traditional. Um, some people will just use one. Um, oh, this middle one, it's just more inclusive than the first one. The first one is I'm happy to see you folks. The second one is I'm happy to see all of you folks. So it's more inclusive. And then the third one, um, I'm honored with your folks' presence. That one's pretty traditional as well. Okay, let's do these one by one. First one, Dalang King Seich Di Goodnight Lagen. Dalang King Seich Di Goodnight Lagen. Dalang King Seich Di Goodnight Lagen. Kungai Gujangan.
Dalang kings ish di goodinai lagen.
How Big Bear.
Dalang kings echt the good night lagen.
Hulagen. How Okay, now we're on to the more inclusive one. Some people think with Dalang that it means all you folks, but it doesn't. You have to have Wadluwan with it. Dalang Wadluwan, King Seich, Igudinai lagan. Dalan watuan. King says, the goodnight lagan. Dalan watuan. King says, the goodnight lagan. Kungai gajanga.
Dalang wadluan King's ish the goodinai lagan.
Big Bear.
Dalang Wadloa Kings Ish the Good Night Lagen.
Good lagan. Like your accent. This one, I love this one. This one comes from the Alaskan Heidi Phrase book by Dr. Al Jude, otherwise known as Dr. Irma Lawrence. Coming up on May 1st, it'll be Dr. Irma Lawrence Day in Ketchikan for all the work that she did to save the Haida language. And so we get a lot of our framework from her. So this is Dalang Ace Andi Hangelgan. Dalang Ace Andi Hangelgan. Dalang Ace Andi Hangelgan. Kungai Gujanga.
Is that an or han? Like with an do you pronounce it with an H or just a
Yeah, an H from here down from your voice box. Hung,
okay?
Hungelgun,
Oh no,
Hungelgun.
the AN.
Oh, I'm
That's,
sorry. This one is it's different than this one. This one is flat and it means four.
okay.
A tone mark N, un, it means um, it means oneself.
Okay.
So we have a double here. We have oneself and then I. So that's pretty common in Haida to have a double.
Okay.
I call it a double. So yeah, it's un.
Okay.
Welcome, Kungai Dunai.
Okay. Dalang ish andi hanga hangagang.
Oh, let me put a dash here.
Yeah.
So we do the
Hangagang.
hung first.
Hung.
Hungogang.
Hangogang. Okay.
Hungogang.
Dung ish andi hangogang.
There you go. You made it look easy that time.
Dalang ish ang di hangogang.
Oh, Hulagan. How Big Bear.
Dalang Ish and the Hungogan.
Hulagan. How Okay, we went through the ancestry lineage. When I did my speech at SHI in Juneau, I used this one. All these three mean the same thing. They mean great-great-grandmother. So I went with Dinan, my grandmother's grandmother, which is the same thing as great-great-grandmother. But this is the format to go back to your great-great-grandparents. And we went through all this. Let's practice saying where we're from, what town or city that we live in, where we work, if that applies, if we go to school, if that applies. Mine is an example. I'm from Craig. It's a traditional Haida village, and I live in Craig. So for the first two, I could say, oh, I gotta do a reminder. This last part, your D carries over. So this is actually Duth Ejim. I learned this from Jasquan. I did not know that. So these two are separate. So I would first say house flies, and then I would say Duth Ejim. So I am from Craig. And since I also live in Craig, this time I would say housefly without the SD attached. Ace oof noggin. Okay, I'm gonna do this one a couple times and then we'll go around and you just mention the town or city that you live in. Oh, that you're from, sorry. There's a big difference. We're doing where you're from. The next one is where you live. Okay. Oust flies, Duth, Ejim. I am from Craig. Oust flies, Duth, Ejim. Oust flies, Duth, Ejim. Kungai Gujanga is Ken Kungai Dunai.
So I say where you're from, and or I say okay. So I say
Where you're from.
where I was born. Where I was born.
Um,
I guess.
no, not where you were born. For instance, I was born in Ketchikan, but I never lived there.
Right.
So I was raised in Craig since a newborn.
Right.
So not where you're born, but where you were raised as a little child.
Maybe I just say California because we moved a little bit.
Sure.
Okay. So California.
Oh, you would have to say California's and then
Okay.
Deuce Ejim.
Okay. California's do Ijang.
And I'll go ahead.
Sorry.
Unai.
Tens durch Ijang.
Ulagan. We also have a Haida nickname for California. We call it Gold Country.
Yeah.
Let me take a look. Mary. One of my former students is from California, and Skiljade gave it the word for gold country. So I guess it would be Ghoul Lagai for California. Ghoul for gold, and Tlagai being a specific place.
Right.
Tlagai.
Gold Cladais Duch Ijang.
Ulagan, that was good. Big Bear.
Heidelbergs. Juch Ejang.
Um, and there is a Haida name for Heidelberg too.
I just can't think of it right now.
Ikta Huntlai. Ikta Huntlai is spelled different ways. Sometimes they use a G. But yeah, Ikta Huntlai Duth Asian.
Yeah, Handleis. Juch Ejang.
Oh, Hulagan, how odd. Okay, so now we're gonna do where we live. So I would say Ausfly Eich Uth Nagen. Ausfly Eich Uth Nagen. Remember our rule, whatever comes before the HL blend has got to be pronounced with it. So that'll be Uth right here. So your town name where you're living right now, and then Eich Uth Nagen. Your town name, and then Eich Uth Nagen. Kungai Gujanga is Gen Kungai Denai.
Okay, Thames Ech Uth Nagen.
Thames ich uch nagen.
Lagan. Big Bear.
Everett. Ech Uch Nagen.
Gulagan. So is your town name, is that, how's it spelled? It's not spelled like the Thames in England, is it?
Yeah, it is, but I was just looking up the Maori name. I think it's well, Waiho is the, but I think there's also a part that's called Te Kouranga because they go a lot by landmarks in Te Reo Maori. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So Waiho is the firth where we are. When Captain Cook came, he came up the firth and up the river, and then he thought it looked like the River Thames. So that's.
Oh,
But
wow.
before him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like hearing the history of it. Oh, um, let's see. This one here, if we work more than one place, we could just add Iskian. So I would say Great Tribal Association, Iskian, Clinket and Haida. Who else do I work for? Yeah, I just got done working through for SHI. And I do some work for XKKF. But anyways, I'll just do these two. Craig Tribal Association, Iskian, Click and Haida, and then we have a big blend right here. and U becomes ow. And then we have the HL blend, so ow. And then Schlungulan, Schlungulan, Schlungulan. So Craig Travel Association is Kin Clinket and Haida, ow, Schlungulan. Sometimes when there's two HLs back to back, we don't have to pronounce both of them. But since this HL blend right here is being pronounced with these other two words, we're okay. But for instance, if I wanted to say I'm working, which is this, and it's two HLs back to back, we can't pronounce both of them. It would be too awkward. So for this one, I'm working, I would simply say Schlungulan, just the verb. Because otherwise I would have to say and then stop and then go back and do Schlungulan, and it's too awkward. But because of
You
this
should
rule,
have a warning not to have your mouth full when you try to say that.
I know, right?
Mom just
Or
spit
stand
the
too
breakfast.
close to someone, because sometimes the spittle flies. I'm kind of grateful this is Zoom, because my spittle will just hit the screen. Yeah, the struggle is real. Great Travel Association is King Clinken Haida, Auf, Schlungulan, Schlungulan, Schlungulan. It's, I'll break it up right here. It's easier to say the first part, schlung, 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 and then last part, gulan, schlungulan, 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 schlungulan. I can't keep my head still when I say it. I'm also trying not to look like a bobblehead. Craig Travel Association is Kin Klicken Haida Auf Schlangulang. Kungai Gujanga is Kin Kungai Dunai.
Okay, Coromandel Distilling Company, Eskien Home, Au Schlangulang. Schlangulang.
You did it.
Restore Iskien THDT Aus Schlangulang.
Oh, Gulagan. How Big Bear.
I was trying to look up retired and I can't find it.
Oh. Oh, we could do that. We could do Langula Hungan, I believe it is the rest of it. Yeah. I don't work or I'm retired. It'll fit both of those. So we don't have to say both of these HLs. So we just say this part. Klangula Angan. Klangula Angan. Klangula Angan. Big Bear.
Klangugala Angen.
Good login. Now, I'm glad we did that because that means we have more vocabulary that we're building up. I also go to school, so I could say UAS, stands for University of Alaska Southeast. UAS, Al Skatong. I am a student at UAS. UAS, Al Skatong. UAS, Al Skatong. Kungai Gujanga Iskin Kungai Dunai.
White Cliff University, Iskian Dog Juice Xaad Kil Aus Skatong.
That's good.
I thought that was hilarious.
University. Dog Juice University.
Thank you. I'm taking a gap year, so
Only Dog
Oh.
Juice.
Yeah. Doug Juice University. Out Skatan.
Oh, that was hilarious. Big Bear.
Sierra University Iskin. Edmonds. It's Getang. That was hard.
Okay, you guys could all say this one. A little bit of a tongue twister, but you guys are all Haida language scholars. So Xaad Kil Skatong. So after we say Xaad Kil, our tongue slips forward and goes behind our upper front teeth to get the HL blend in. Xaad Kil Skatong. Yeah, do not try with a mouthful of food, it won't work. Xaad Kil Skatong. Xaad Kil Skatong. Xaad Kil Skatong. Kungai Gujanga Iskin Kungai Dunai.
Xaad Kil Skatong.
Hard kill Skatan.
Big Bear.
Hot kills Getang.
Okay, I'm good. We did this one yesterday, but we'll do it again just because just because of the protocol involved with this simple saying, but it's almost like sacred, especially when the elders did it. So if you give a speech or even an introduction, and if you end with how kudos, it's a really high term of endearment and a really high way of saying thank you. And so we'll do it with the um, Haida sign language as well. So how kudals, how 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 kudals, how how and if you have a room of people, you might be turning in different directions to um, make sure everyone sees you. How kudals, how how kungai gujanga is kin kungai dunai.
How are kudals? How are? How are? How are kudals? How are? How are?
Hulagan, Big Bear,
Ha, kudos. Ha.
Hulagan. You need to know this one, Big Bear, if you take the chieftainship.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go to it's really Haida poetry. I labeled this document wellness. Um, I got to remember to share this with Shuth Nick. She wanted to know about the supernatural beings. So there's some in here. And one day I was in Xaad class, and there was a picture of families out digging clams. And in the creek was, this was a drawing, and sometimes they'll use drawings in class, and you have to say what you see and hide it. And there was a drawing of a supernatural being in the creek. And I was like, oh, that's Creek Woman, but I could not remember her Haida name for the life of me. And here it is right here. Hunt Hyung's Creek Woman, teaches us about stewardship. We are to protect our land, sea, and air. Each Kansu Ijen, the responsibility is ours. So I think we'll practice this little phrase right here. I did not come up with it, but
I like that one.
it makes sense because has a lot of meaning. It means you assist, you help, but it also means blessing. And so in this case, they're using it as responsibility. Eat kamsuijin. Eat kamsuijin. Eat kamsuijin. Kungai Gujanga is in Kungai Dunai.
Ik angzu ijang.
Ik angzu ijang.
Hulagan. How Big Bear.
Ich kann zu Ijang.
Hulagan.
Would you mind sending me this doc as well, Dr. Juice?
Yeah, let me do that right this second because
Yes.
at 12:58 I'll be clocking back into work and I will totally forget it. Do you want it as well, Big Bear? Okay, so I've got it in a PDF. and it's called Wellness. Let me attach it real quick. I like to send documents out right away. Otherwise, I will forget. Okay. So that's sent out. There's a lot of culture in here. But what I really want to get to is right here. I'm going to try not to get emotional. This is from Chinny Stephen Brown of Masset. And he was raised by his grandparents, and he was fluent in Old Haida, which our Old Haida is almost gone now. And but I was able to put it into our dialect. So this whole thing is from Chinny Stephen Brown right up to where it ends right there with life is precious. So, oh, it actually starts right here. So we'll be going around the room practicing some of these phrases. Oh, by the way, I won't have class Monday because I have to take my car in to get repaired. So, excuse me. So I'll write down where we leave off today, and then next Wednesday we'll pick back up. Okay. So this phrase, life is precious, hinang u kuyagan, hinang u kuyagan, hinang u kuyagan. We're blowing out lots of air from our voice box. He, hinang u kuyagan. Kungai Gujanga is Ken Kungai Dunai.
Hinang u kuyagan. Kuyagan.
Hinang u kuyagan.
Gulagan. How Big Bear.
Hinang u kuyagan.
How and this, the first phrase is more like Haida poetry, but a lot of this is like more like indigenous science. This one's indigenous science. Ken Watluan Hinangagan. Let me do a little bit of phonetics, at least right here. We're going to have a strong he sound. None, gun. In Watluan Hinangagan. In Watluan Hinangagan. In Watluan Hinangagan. There's a life force in everything. Kungai Gujanga is in Kungai Dunai.
In Wadluan hinangagan.
Ginwadluan hinangagan.
Hulagan, how Big Bear.
Yen Wadawan Hinang Hagen.
Hulagan. Kilgingan Talan Watluan Kusugam. We all speak the same language. Kilgingan u halang wadluan usugan. Kilgingan u halang wadluan usugan. Kilgingan u halang wadluan usugan. Kungai gujanga isken kungai dunai.
Hil gingang talang wadluan gusugan.
Kil gingang u talang waluan gusugan.
You guys say it better than I do. Big Bear.
Kilhangan utalang wadluan gusugan.
Hulagan how long ago, we used to speak to all living things. We understood the ravens and what they were saying. As a matter of fact, it's called raven speech. And they could tell by the way Raven cocked its head and how it hopped down the beach, what it was saying to them. And for example, like in the old villages, they would hear Raven speak, and so Raven would deliver them a message, and one of the villagers would know what he was saying, and they would tell the rest of the people, for example, there's a boat coming. And the ones that didn't believe in it would look out on the water and they wouldn't see a boat. But, a couple hours later, a boat would come into view. And this is some of the history of Raven speak. That we spoke to the bears and trees and all kinds of things. So, in Watluan, Hinanga a Dan Gusugan. I know it's we got two O's back to back, but that's just the way it goes. Kin Watluan, Hinanga a. It's a perfect time to pause, by the way. Whoa, I didn't. Where's the undo button? I did not mean to take that pronoun away. I was simply trying to do a dash like that. That scared me. So after we say Ginwat Luan, Hinang A, come up for air and then go into Dang Gusugan. Ginwat Luan, Hinang A, Dang Gusugan. Ginwat Luan, Hinang A, Dang Gusugan. Kungai Gujanga iskin kungai dunai.
Gin wadluan hinanga a dang gusugan.
Ginwaluan dang gusugan.
Oh, Gulagan. Big Bear.
Ginwadluan, Hinganga, Dan Gusugan.
Oh, how
That story reminds me, my father has a joke he always says when we visit my cousins in Klawock. He says, you know, the Ravens named this place, and then he goes, Klawock.
I could relate to that. Yeah, that's one of the more popular stories of how Clark got his name. When I was little, I'm the youngest, second youngest out of 17 kids. I'm number 16. And then my baby sister's number 17, and her name is Carla. And the ravens would often do this lazy call, and it sounded like Carla. And I would tease my sister, they're calling your name. Go speak to them, they're calling you. But thank you for that story. Yeah, that is a popular version. There's a total another version of how Cloak got its name. And the story is there was a Haida chief, Clawag, and he set up a trading post there. And the Kenya people came down to trade at his trading post and settled there. But anyways, I'm going down a rabbit hole. I like this question. Doc Kilgudung, can you hear them? Doc Kilgudung, Doc Kilgudung, Doc Kilgudung. We just round our lips for the W. Doc Kilgudung, Doc Kilgudung. Kungai Gujanga is Ken Kungai Dunai.
Doc Kilgudung.
Doc Kilgudung.
Oh, Gulagan. Big Bear.
Dak Kilgudung.
Oh, how Okay, I need some phonetics for this one.
Sekian sate kusugan.
Gans Hatai Icha Gusugan. This part almost sounds like cans, like tin cans, but there's a Y in there. So cans Hatai Icha Gusugan. Hatai Icha Gusugan. Gans Hatai Icha Gusugan. Gans Hatai Icha Gusugan. Gans Hatai Icha Gusugan. Gans Hatai Icha Gusugan. Kungai Gujanga is Ken Kungai Dunai.
Okay. Kiens. Kiens. Hatai. Ich. Ich. Gusugang.
Yeah, I'll block mine.
It's easier without the giggling.
Jens Hatai Eat Gusugan.
Oh, Gulagan. Big Bear.
Yes, hatai ich gusugan.
Oh, Gulagan. Okay, we have one more scan to do. Scan in guy itla su sugun. Ah, okay. Kin guy itla kusugan. Kin guy itla kusugan. Kin guy itla kusugan. Kin guy itla kusugan. Kungay gujanga is kin kungay dunay.
Yin guy each gusugun.
Kian Gingai Itla Gusugan.
How Big Bear.
Ikyan Gingai Ich Gusugan.
How okay, so hold on 1 second.
Did you grow up in Heidelberg, Big Bear?
I grew up in Seattle.
Oh, okay.
I lived there till I was 4 years old.
Okay, we'll pick up where we left off. Next Wednesday, no class on Monday. Weekend guy lost the Have a good weekend, you guys.